Here is a Mazda CX-5. Before we get started though, let me give a quick shout out to Naya Motors Inc. for letting us use the car today to film the videos. They are a used car dealer here in Ottawa, Canada. Check out the link in the description for their entire inventory. Now let's go ahead and get started. Open the driver's side door, pull the primary hood release lever there. Now in front of the vehicle, right on top of the Mazda emblem, a little bit to the driver's side to the left, put one finger in there and push it. Yep, lift up the hood. This hood requires a prop rod. Get the rod out and put it in that slot with the arrow marking it, like that. Pull it back and you're good. Once the hood is open, that right there, that's where the battery is. Now what we need for this job is either a 10mm wrench or a 10mm socket ratchet combination. If you use a socket ratchet combination, make sure you have a deep socket, a long socket, because a small shallow one will not work because we have to put it on there and loosen those two nuts. First, let's start by loosening the negative terminal wire there. Just put it on there and loosen it. Wiggle this and get it off. Now it may be stuck on there, so you may have to use both your hands to really try and wiggle this and get it off the battery post. But again, if you're not able to do that too, just get a flathead screwdriver and use it like a lever to pry this battery wire off of the battery post. Yep, once it's off, get it out of the way. And now let's repeat this process for the positive one. Same thing, just loosen that one nut. This should be loose, and then we can lift up the battery wire from there. And now we have to loosen those two nuts for the battery bracket that will hold it in place. Let's loosen this one nut, the one on the right side, the passenger side one. Let's loosen that up and loosen it enough that we can just sort of wiggle and tilt this arm off. There's like a hook end to this arm. That's where it goes underneath there. Just focus on this. This is important. Once you get it out from over there, this is loose, and now you can sort of move the entire battery bracket away. And you may not even have to loosen that other nut over there. See that the whole thing is loose. Let's just focus on the hook arm on the other side too. Same thing, same idea. Just tilt it and then you should be able to get it out from under there. And that's it. It's now out and we can lift up and get the entire bracket off. At this point there's nothing else holding the battery in place, so just grab the battery, lift it up. Once you lift it up, you'll have to sort of tilt the battery to be able to get it out of the car. And be careful, the battery is heavy, so you don't drop it on anything or hurt yourself in the process. This battery has 510 cca cold cranking amps. Make sure your new battery has at least 510 cold cranking amps. Also note that the positive and negative terminals are marked with plus and minus signs. Get the new battery and position it in. It's the same process. You'll have to tilt it first to get it in position. Again, note the position of the battery. The plus side, the positive side is facing toward the front. When you put the bracket on, the text should be facing us, just the way I show over here. Position the bracket there, and first let's get the driver's side, the left side arm in. Once it's in, now let's go on the other side and let's get the arm in over there too. And once it gets in there, yep, that's good. Let's just hand tighten the nut first as much as you can. Same thing for the other side. Make sure it's still in there and hand tighten the nut as much as you can. And now we'll just tighten it down with the socket ratchet or the 10mm wrench for both the sides. And at this point, the bracket should be firmly holding on to the battery and nothing should be moving. It should look like this, and that is good. Let's go ahead and put the positive terminal wire back on. Put it on the battery post and push it down. Push it down as much as you can, because you're trying to make sure you get a good connection. So push it down and then tighten that one nut up. Make sure it's not moving once after you tighten it. Repeat the process for the negative one, the black wire. Again, push it down as much as you can and tighten it down. Once you're done tightening, make sure it's not moving and everything is good. And now let's go ahead and try this out. In the car, it's in on position. Everything's turning on. Let's turn the engine on now. And the engine turns on too. No warning lights on the dash. That one for the brake, that's the parking brake. Disengage that and that's gone. Everything's looking good over here. Let's try the radio. And the radio is working fine as well. And that is pretty much it. Now in order to close the hood, first push it, get load off the prop rod, get it out of the slot over there, put it back in its place, lower the hood and then slam it shut. Hope you found it useful.